let's talk about a white base today, and maybe by the end of this video you'll want to add a white base to your collection. Today I want to talk about a white base, why I think you should get a white base, and by the end of this video maybe you'll want to buy a white base, maybe not. And I also want to recreate this illustration by Sato. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sato's art has been a huge inspiration to me for years. I haven't done a look inspired by his work in years now. I mean, I feel like everything I do, definitely the roots of it are influenced by Sato's illustrations. But he has beautiful airbrush art. You've definitely seen it. We're gonna do this look right here. That's hot. I love that so much, and it feels like it won't take me too much time. I did my nails. So I'm doing my base real quick with a white base. It depends on what finish I want, what color finish I want for my white base, because most of the white bases you'll get, like this Creole one for example, or the Ben Nye one that I'm looking for right now, and I'm kind of having a crisis because if I can't find it, I might crash out. These are basically foundations. They are full coverage products. Well, medium to full coverage. You gotta build it up a little. If I want a bit of like a creamier white with a bit like a tiny yellowish tint to it, then I'll add my foundation beneath the white like I'm doing now. But if I want more of a stark white where you can see that blue undertone in the white, then you can apply your white base on its own. It just depends what you want for your finish for that white. There's no right or wrong, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's personal preference. It's what you want for that final shot. Let's start with the white bases I have currently. The Creole TV paint stick. This is a great base. I do see some people don't like this base because I guess when they're blending it out they have problems with it being a little bit drier than other bases compared to this, for example, from Makeup Forever. This is the Makeup Forever Flash palette, and I love this palette a lot. I have it right here, but it's mixed with yellow. This is really creamy, but compared to this one, this has a little bit more tug. I really packed it on so you can't tell, but some people have a problem with this product feeling too dry for a cream. But that is what I love about this white base and the Ben Nye Clown White. And being a little bit drier makes this product so long lasting, so opaque, so easily buildable, and just kind of supports its durability. They're not dry, but I can see somebody with dry skin kind of having some problems with this if they don't prep well. So that's the point, I feel, of it being just a little bit more difficult to work with for a cream, but it's really not that difficult to work with in my opinion. But I absolutely understand what these people mean. This Makeup Forever one is so creamy, but because of its creaminess, this Makeup Forever one, you can see how easily it shears out, and this one is staying in place. Yes, you need to set it, you absolutely need to set it, but compared to the Makeup Forever one, you're just gonna get that opacity that you want from this and that durability that you want. But it is a cream regardless. You should be setting it. You should set it. I would say they're my favorites, absolute favorites for white bases. This Makeup Forever Flash palette, this white is awesome as well, but it's very creamy, and this Flash palette is a little bit pricey. And if you're just looking for a white base, I would just recommend going for an eyeshadow, or not an eyeshadow stick, a foundation stick like this one or the Ben Nye one, because I utilize all these shades, not all of them, but majority of them, when I'm trying to correct the color or just mix colors in general or create my own foundation, whatever I'm trying to mess around with. Unless you're really putting it to work, you don't need it. You don't need something like this. It's $100, I believe, so it is a great product. There are dupes out there, and I've tried the dupes, but they're not like this. But let me apply the Makeup Forever on one side and the Creole on this side. This referencing the look over here. So I'm gonna put some at the top of my cheekbones because let me see how this look is looking. Let me see how this look is looking. So the center of the face is basically just your face, bare face, natural face. And then the center of the face fades into white. That could simply be the background of the photo, but you know what? I think that's a perfect opportunity to do a white base. There are gonna be beads of sweat everywhere. You can use a brush, but I like using a sponge. I like using a dry sponge for this. One thing I think is so awesome to try with a white base, a white eyeshadow, whatever it is, it can just amplify a look and completely shift it to this editorial avant-garde type look. I think it's so hot. I think it's so easy for photography to get a fun shoot in. Add some white somewhere on your face, make it a little bit clowny, add some white asymmetry to your face. I can't support adding a white base product to your collection enough. I really like using a sponge with this. You can use a brush, but I do feel like a brush picks up too much product, even a synthetic brush. For my actual foundation, you will never catch me using a sponge. For my white base, nearly always. So I'm just building this up. It's really easy to build up. So one other product you could also use that I don't love using for my base, I would prefer for liner and for details, is a water activated paint. I have the Mayron Paradise paints as well. Water activated paints are mega okay from the jump, just depending on how much water you're adding. But if you add too little, you risk patchiness. And then if you're building up water activated paints, you also risk patchiness. So I really just prefer creams over water activated. They're not bad. I just prefer water activated for details, not a base. So I'm starting to fade this inward, and at the edges I'm taking the clean side of my sponge and just buffing up those edges. And because it's a cream, I can just go over the areas that I want a little less white and a little more of my skin tone to come through with my foundation brush, and it all blends seamlessly together. That's white as hell. I'm picking up so much sweat right now. Let me get that in there. Maybe I should put my hair up, right? My ear really quick. I'm taking some of this white from the Makeup Forever Flash palette, and I'm gonna put it over that white that's already here. It's not gonna make a huge difference. And I guess I'll use my sponge. I do like using this blush paw or any synthetic brush for this cream product right here. This is a lot dewier. You can just see in this video how this product glides onto your skin because of its creaminess. It's just so easy to spread all over your face. But I'm pretty sure it's the same formulation as their HD Skin palette. I don't use water. I'm sure like everybody's gonna be like, your sponge is really absorbing that product. I just don't like using water in my sponges. I can't get the ratio right. I can't. I've tried for years. It's not for me. I feel like I can see it very clearly how much more dewy this side is compared to this side, this formulation versus this side. Maybe it won't pick up as much on camera, but I see it. Let me build it up to the same level as this. The problem is with this palette, if you want to dish out the money for this, you will be using so much more product to achieve this opacity of white in comparison to how much you would be using from the Creole on TV paint stick or the Ben Nye Clown White. The other shades in here, they are just so fucking pigmented. If you want to correct a client's foundation or your own foundation, you just need this much, and it's gonna correct the yellow in here. I keep reapplying. It's not a bad product at all, but to reach this level of white, I would just have to keep reapplying. You can see how dewy my skin is in comparison, and you can see how much blue is in this Creole. I'm saying two different things now. You can see how much blue is in this, even with mixing into my foundation base. I think I'm gonna go in with this closest concealer. Just a little bit. This concealer is really nice, but stinky. I wish I could find my Ben Nye. I filmed this at such a wrong time, you guys. I just was desperate to film something and actually make it kind of short and sweet and make it easier to edit for myself before I move, because I know the move is about to be chaotic. This is a good amount of white. I feel like sometimes when I'm doing these looks and during the blending process, I focus so much on it that I kind of lose sight of what my actual skin tone is. So I feel by the time I'm finished blending and I'm about to set that I'm not white enough. But then when I take a picture, I look ridiculous. I'm taking my very old ABH white setting powder. Don't recommend because I don't know what the fuck is going on with that brand. Any white setting powder works. Translucent also works, but white is the best for a white base. I really try not to breathe this shit in. I've had this on very, very generously. Be very generous with your white base, especially if you're about to go over some eyeshadow like I am. Makes the blending process so much easier. I love the setting process. It's just so careless and so nice, so therapeutic. I love it. Look at that. Holy shit. Just adding white to your look just takes it to a completely different category. Say you're doing a glam look and then you do a bright white under eye, kind of like Nacer looks. It completely takes your look to another realm. These Say brushes, freaking chicken fricassee, they're so good. So I'm dusting that away, and whatever I'm dusting away, I'm also bringing it inwards to kind of combat that oiliness. Okay, so once I've set my white base, one thing I like to do, if the white is not at the level that I want it to be, I will add white eyeshadow over it. You can go ahead and try to work with adding more white cream over your already set base. It's gonna be quite difficult to blend it out. So if I want to amplify this white more, which I do kind of want to do, I go in with a white eyeshadow. This is a good size brush. This is LH Cosmetics. I love these LH Cosmetics brushes. 306 brush. Love this brush for blush. Love it so much. These eyeshadows are also LH Cosmetics. Lens Makeup Blend Bunny collaboration. Lens Makeup Looks and Blend Bunny. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Taking a combination of these two and taking this hair off me and going over where I want it just a little bit whiter. It is just so difficult to add more white or add any more cream, build up more cream once you apply powder. That's kind of something we know by now. Cheekbone. With a water activated face paint as well, you do have to set them because they are water activated and your sweat will make them go somewhere. So I'm gonna pack on a little bit more white to give me sort of a lift over here. But just look at the difference. Look at that lift it already gives alongside the shadow of my eye. White eyeshadow. You can do that with any eyeshadow. You can do that with your setting powder. But white eyeshadow. Somebody was asking me about the Issamai palette a few weeks back in my comments. I was like, I haven't seen that palette in like 2 years. In my my moments of postpartum depression, postpartum rage, and sleep deprivation, I depotted the Isamaya palette into one of these, my Kitco palettes. I depotted these Urban Decay eyeshadows. I have these from Kaleidos. These are old ABH ones. When I found this palette just a few days ago, I can't explain to you what I felt. I'm overjoyed. I don't know how I didn't come across this when I was moving into this place, because I departed when I was pregnant. I was in Georgia. I was living in Georgia, back and forth, Georgia, Florida, Georgia, Florida. Rediscovered this, so fucking happy. And then I had some Makeup Forever single eyeshadows. These are beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow formulas. I added these Makeup Forever ones in here too, but the rest were in here that I did during the postpartum chaos that was going on in my body. But I've downsized my makeup collection. I have about 5 makeup palettes, like palettes from the brand, and then these depotted palettes, and that is where I'm starting when I'm back in Florida. I've reached out to some brands that are very, very generous and helping me build up my kit again. I'm so excited to wrangle up some models and do some weird ass freaking looks on y'all. There's a bit of brown smokiness going on, and then that deep berry tone going into the temples, and then those streaks all over. So I'm gonna do that really quick. My brow really quick. I'm just gonna take this really dark brown, do a really skinny freaky tail. That's not freaky at all. Okay, I'm gonna get a fluff here in the front, and then I'll keep it a little bit Ozempi at the end. Perfect brush for a smoked wing is the Refer number 3 brush. Just perfect tapered little detailed brush for smoked wings. I have a video actually talking about these brushes from years ago. and it's on my YouTube. Can you believe that? Going in really lightly, but nearly every look I've done involves this brush. Hold on, what is this? Buffing up that, not too perfect because I'm about to go over with more eyeshadow. But for right now, that's good. How do I look? Okay, let me get some berry tones in there. Senorita Awesome. I'm in love with this palette. This is the Adventure Time Candy Kingdom palette from Glisten Cosmetics. I love this palette so much. But I'm excited a little bit. I'm gonna take some of these berry tones from Make Forever, super lightly. Make Forever Artist Color Pro Palette 002 Berry. And I'm taking a tiny bit of that purple mixed with that red from this palette right here. And I'm going over super, super lightly. Maybe I should turn to the side so you can see how I'm barely touching my eyeball. Eyelid, not eyeball. Okay, I'm taking this giant fluffy brush. This is from the Makeup Shack. The Makeup Shack has freaking awesome, gorgeous lashes. Bringing some of those berry tones up into my temple now. I think I'm gonna add some hair glue to really slick this back. I don't have a lot of product on this brush at all, and that's why it looks so easy to blend out. That is one of the biggest tips when people ask about how things come out so smoothly and they own the same eyeshadows. I work with little product by little. So I'm taking like the tiniest little dip and then spreading it out everywhere pretty quickly. Okay, taking some more brown on the very tip of that 03 brush and really bringing out that wing because I wanted some of this gray shade on my lid to give a little more smoke, but not too dark. Dude, look at how sweaty I am. Some black in the waterline using this black core pencil from LH Cosmetics. And let me just get in there. Love. Dude, I have developed allergies. Look at this picture of me. I don't know, my immune system was a little bit braggable. And dude, your body just changes after pregnancy. Even 2 years after, it changes after pregnancy. Smoking some out just because I want to. Some fat mascara. I'm gonna make the lashes a little clumpy. I'm using this dual-ended mascara from Makeup Forever. This mascara is really nice. Not because of mascara formula, because it comes with a regular brush side right here, you see. And this opposite side, it's called Lift, but it's perfect for if you want to add black to your eyebrows, for your bottom lashes. It's just a tiny brush. So the skinny side, for the bottom lashes. And you know the perfect brush for those streaks? This one right here, for number 3. This is the perfect purple Jelly Horse from Glisten Cosmetics Animal Kingdom Candy Palette. No, Candy Kingdom Animal. No, Candy Kingdom Adventure Time Palette. Going over lightly. I think I want the widest part of the streak here, so flat side of the brush right there, and then using the tip of that brush to thin it out at each end. I think I'll take a little bit of this Cotton Candy Forest. It's this little very pink. I'll go with these edges a little. Yes. It reminds me of Torn Princess. Is that her name from 13 Ghosts? So I'm going over the very tip of that brush. That looks good there. That looks good there too. Really straight one over here. That's one side. Let me do the other side. I want these streaks to have a little bit more definition, even though it's like one solid color all the way through in this reference photo. I do want to have a little bit more depth just because that might look better on a real face. So I'm gonna take a little bit more of that deep berry shade and mix it with some of this brown from the Little Makeup Forever Berry palette. I'm barely applying any pressure with this brush. This is an angled brush, 333 from Cosmetics. I feel like I've really lost my steady hand. So much on your mind, baby. But I'm very blessed in many ways, so shaky hand is okay. So before I add some red lip, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of this cool brown that I used initially under here to just really deepen my under eye and make it a little bit more, you know what I mean. Add some depth in here with those shadows because they're a little bit cooler. So all my lip products, pencils, lip pencils, eye pencils, some base products and glosses are all in here. That is all I got. I'm giving everything else away. This is really the only, other than lip pencils and one Pat McGrath lip Juicy Red that I have, and because I want to play into the berry of it all, I'm gonna apply this Say Berry Gloss over it. What is the shade? Dream. It's a really pretty deep berry, and I really like that gloss formula. This is Kaleidos shade Dahlia. Well, I only held on to this red and another red from Pat McGrath. That's saying a lot. These are my favorite reds. This formula is so freaking soft. It's so soft. It's so good. Kaleidos lip products are one of the best. This formula is so soft. I think by now a lot of people have tried Kaleidos, but their lip products are just so good. I wish they would make a few more like grayish tones. They do have this taupe lipstick that is pretty cool, or lip gloss that is pretty cool, and I kept that with me as well, but I wish they would make more because their formulas are just the best. Gloss from Say, and I'm having that product sit like on my lid, not blending it into that red. I want that gloss to be extra glossy right on top of my lids. Okay. Slicking my hair back with this little got to be glue. And then I'm gonna touch up my ears a little and take some pictures. The chain earrings I feel are a good touch for some pictures. Bringing my brow tail almost parallel to that liner. I feel like that's key. That's the power of a white base. That is the look. You are definitely gonna see some edits if you see this on Instagram. My skin will be buttered. My skin will be buttered in such a way that you will not know that I used whatever's going on in here. I have done bases like this so many times with other foundations. I have never had problems like I had with this. It was really time for me to do a fun look. I haven't done a fun look on YouTube for so long, and it's something I've been wanting to do, but I really just try not to talk so much. I love talking, but anybody who knows me knows I may not finish talking about the subject at hand, and I may jump into 5 others. That is something that's really difficult for me, but I'm so glad I got through this. I'm so glad. The look I chose also gives me a chance to show you some of my techniques, like with different brushes, which is also something I want to do a video on, an in-depth brush video, and I feel like it would be an hour-long video. So I would have to find like some other topics to talk about throughout that, but it's so difficult for me to do my makeup and also have a sidebar topic to talk about. A little. Yeah, it reminds me a little of The Angry Princess. I feel like she should have had a different name. Everybody said that movie was bad, and I don't want to rewatch it and see where that movie kind of had some holes, kind of failed a little bit, because I watched that movie when I was like 11, and I loved it. So it was so scary. The jackal is so terrifying. It's so traumatizing. And so is the juggernaut. What's a really scary scene? That fat baby. I hope that you've decided where you are on wanting a white base. And even though I didn't give you many options in front of me, just because everything is kind of misplaced in my home right now, I hope I could explain things sort of thoroughly. In conclusion, I favor a cream base over a water activated base, and I favor this cream base over another cream base. So Ben Nye and Creolon are really top tier bases in my opinion, but I will pick the Ben Nye one and the Creolon one every time. Okay, that's it for the video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.